What's up, you guys, and welcome to one of the many great lawns overlooking Central Park in New York, New York. This week, we're talking about something that really defines me as a travel nurse. We're going to be talking about fire and travel nursing mixed in together and how to run this. Fire, what does it stand for? Financial independence, retire early. And, of course, travel nursing. Here we go. So, fire and travel nursing, we get to do both at the same time, and this is one of the really big reasons why I love this career, is because we get to do nursing, we get to travel all over the US and wherever else you're licensed to go, and then on top of it, you're saving huge amounts of money, or lots of money that you can then use to live off in later. And that's our overall goal for this entire process, is to be financially independent and we can retire early. Hello and welcome to the Everything Travel Nurse Show, a show dedicated to educate and entertain nurses who are inspired by travel nursing. I'm a world traveler and been on the road now for over 3 years. My name is Travel Nurse Gary. I believe that you can do this too, and I'm here to help you along your journey. So financial independence means is that we're not dependent on anybody. We're completely independent, and what that means is that we don't have to have a nursing paycheck, and that's going to be our main goal of this entire process. The way that I am good at this, and what my overall main goal for financial independence is to really mimic Warren Buffett, and that I want to be like a holding company that just owns so much stock in companies that are undervalued, that have long-term potential for growth, and then also have great dividends. And in that process, that the money inside of my independent and like that holding company that I'm becoming, that makes me more money than nursing, and that's how you become financially independent. That's my main goal of becoming financially independent. Retire early. When it comes to retiring early, this is going to be very individualistic for each person. Each person, when they do fire, has a different goal that they want to accomplish. For me, retire early, I think, is a little bit different than everybody else, in the fact that my overall goal towards retiring early is like I want to work till I'm like 52. That's it. I'm done from nursing, at least, and then maybe work other jobs, but retire at 52 from US and wherever in other nations, and just be able to walk away and say, all right, that's enough nursing. It's too hard on my body. I'm financially independent and I don't need to have this paycheck. I did it because I want to. That's the goal. Financial independence, retire early. So one of the things I want to talk to you real quick about is financial education. What do you know about financial education, and what did you learn in nursing school from financials? You didn't learn anything. There's no classes, there's nothing. So what do they teach you all throughout nursing school? Oh, you can go back for nursing school and get a master's degree and make more money. Well, I disagree. It's not always the best way to make more money, but if you think about it from the nursing school perspective, they make more money by suggesting that to you. So I'm going to say that there's a conflict of interest in there, and I don't like it. Instead, maybe focus on alternative ways to make money, like buy housing. You buy a house, rent it out, and you can have a different source of income. And if you do break your leg, you have money coming in that doesn't rely on you actually physically going to work. So always stop and think about finding alternative ways to make money that doesn't involve going back to school and giving more money to the school. So you walk into your freshly diagnosed patient's room with diabetes, and you talk to your patient and you say, well, what can you tell me about diabetes? Patient looks up at you and says, well, the doctor's going to start me on a pill, and that's all I know. It's going to take care of my diabetes for me. You look back at the patient and you're like, okay, there's actually more to it than that, but that's kind of how I feel when I talk to nurses about investing. Need a good start-off point? Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Great book. Read it. So probably one of my best qualities that I have that make me successful as a travel nurse, that if I was going to give this advice to anybody and say, this is what makes me successful, this is what you need to emulate in order to be successful in this business, is run your travel nurse self like you're a business, okay? This is probably the number one mentality that travel nurses really struggle with, is that they just have unlimited spending. They don't have a monthly budget. They don't have goals that really reflect like a business type future. And this is what you want to do as a travel nurse, is really stop to yourself, say, I'm in the business of travel nursing. I am here to make money. I have to be profitable. Unless you're going to maybe Alaska or Hawaii, then you don't have to have that. I would say my one big exception would be, wait for it, New Zealand. Run your travel nurse self like you're running a business. Unfortunately, your overall goal is to make money, and you're always trying to find new ways to cut costs. Be creative in your cost-cutting techniques and come up with new strategies and techniques that nobody else has thought of before. I mean, where's the critical thinking, right? So I want you to have that business-like mentality when you're running the numbers of like, can I be profitable on this contract? What's the cost of housing? What's the cost of groceries in this area? What's the cost of living? Because all those different things are going to cost very dramatically throughout the nation. So you need to ask yourselves those questions. Like, if I was a company and I moved to this area, would I go under? Well, those are good questions, okay? So one other thing I want to talk to you real quick is the importance. You absolutely have to have a budget. When you first start this out, you need to write down an actual budget each month and say, this is my budget. This is what I can spend. And once you become good at budgeting this out and understanding how much money can I spend each month as a travel nurse, is one of the most important tools you have towards financial independence, because it allows you to be on an actual track and lets you track your progress and how much money you're saving and how much money you're putting into your 401k, your Roth IRA. And it's like, I really can't express to you how important it is to have an actual written budget for this entire process. You have to do this when you're first starting off to become a fire nurse. Alright, so for the last part of this video, we're just going to do a confession. I'm cheap. I'm really just naturally a saver. I'm cheap. I don't spend money. I do spend money now. I've had to learn how to spend money, but it's been difficult for me because I'm just a natural saver. I want to save everything I have, and that's not how financial independence works. You need to invest all that money. So budgeting and using all of these tools towards creating financial independence has been just an amazing journey. You have to have all these set tools and implement them in order to become financially independent. And my biggest recommendation, my biggest influencer is Warren Buffett. I mean, I love Buffett. I think he's absolutely fantastic, but I really would like to say that I'm a huge Graham Stephan fan. He's awesome. Meet Kevin. He's another amazing YouTuber, and I really like the Ramsey books. Those are really great books. But yeah, I mean, it's been an awesome journey because I've been able to travel all over the U.S. and having a company pay for it. I mean, it's just it's awesome. It's such a great career. You should be a travel nurse too.